Let me tell you a story that still gives me chills, even years later. I was born and raised in the Philippines until I was 11. After that, my family moved to Canada, where ghost stories and paranormal stuff didn't really seem to matter anymore. Life moved on. But 7 years later, my mom decided it was time for a vacation back home, a chance to revisit our roots and reconnect with old friends and family. Our family house in the Philippines had always been labeled the haunted house in the neighborhood. Growing up, I heard the whispers and stories, but I never experienced anything myself. I mean, I'd spent hours alone in that house as a kid and nothing weird ever happened. So, when we got back, I didn't think twice about staying there. One day, I invited one of my closest childhood friends over for lunch. She had recently given birth, and since I was her baby's godmother, I asked her to bring her baby along too. My grandma, ever the generous host, offered to go to the market to grab something special for us to eat. With the house empty except for me, I stayed back to wait for my friend so she wouldn't have to stand outside with her baby. When my friend arrived, her baby was sound asleep in her arms. I showed her a room where she could lay him down, and we headed back to the living room to catch up. Everything was normal, until it wasn't. Just as we sat down, she suddenly stood up, her gaze fixed on the kitchen. I followed her line of sight, but there was nothing there. She turned to me and said, "I'm going to go say hi to your grandma." I laughed and said, "Sure, once she gets back from the market." Her face froze, confused. "Isn't that your grandma in the kitchen right now?" I swear to you, every hair on my body stood up in that moment. I gave her a nervous laugh. "That's impossible," I said. "She left for the market 10 minutes ago." Her face changed, and I could see the color drain from her cheeks. "Then who's the woman with short hair, wearing a white duster, standing in your kitchen?" Now, here's the thing. My grandma does have short hair, but there was no way she could have gotten back from the market that quickly. And why would she have changed clothes? I felt a chill shoot down my spine. "My grandma's wearing a blue duster today," I said. "And I've been here alone." We both looked at each other, dread sinking in, and cautiously made our way to the kitchen. But when we got there, no one was there. The room was completely empty. Just as we were trying to wrap our heads around what she saw, we heard her baby crying in the other room. It startled both of us, and we rushed over. He had just woken up, crying loudly, as if something had disturbed him. We didn't talk about it after that. We brushed it off, focused on the baby, and carried on with lunch. But let me tell you, that moment, the look in her eyes, the certainty in her voice, has stayed with me ever since. You can't help but wonder, who, or what, did she see in the kitchen that day?